Hello, it's Lesley from Hungry Healthy Crafts, and a lot of my friends at the moment are having babies, so I'm in the mood to make some baby cards right now. And today I'm sharing with you this card, which features the Mama Elephant Pagehuggers stamps and dies, along with a couple of other bits and pieces from my stash. I'm starting off today with some watercolor cardstock, and I'm just using some remnants that I have here left over from another project. And I'm laying out some of my stamps. I've got a bit of a mixture here. Yes, I've got the Pagehuggers stamps from Mama Elephant, but I've also used this crayon, which is a Lawn Fawn stamp from the Colour My World stamp set. And then the little boat is from the Lawn Fawn Lovable Legends set. I'm stamping all my images onto this watercolor cardstock in VersaFine ink, and then sprinkling some clear embossing powder over the top so that I have an embossed image. I'm going to make sure I get these little smiley faces on each of my critters because I think it looks super cute. And then I can move over to thinking about the rest of my card. I've used the dotted detail die also from Mama Elephant to cut out a frame and a background. That's going to be what my whole card is based on. And my critters are going to be coloured in using some watercolor paint today. I've grabbed my Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolor set and just a normal paintbrush. And for each of my little images, I'm actually wetting the paper first with some clean water. This is the wet on wet technique, and it means that when I drop the paintbrush with the paint on it, touch that to the paper, it absorbs all the paint and you don't get very many harsh lines. So here you can see me adding the clear water before adding some of that grey. Now I'm going to do the critters and the pencil first of all, and also the book, but the crayons, I wasn't quite sure what colour I wanted them to be. So this is a little tip for you guys. Paint the things that have standard colours first of all, like your critters, trees and grass and everything. And if you have something like a crayon that could be multicolored, you can do that later and decide at that point what colour would look best once you've got your card completed. So I'm going to cut these out using the coordinating dies. My Pagehugger dies arrived this week, which is what inspired this card today. And the great thing about these dies is that it actually cuts out the little paws so that you can slot the little critters behind paper like this, they hold on, and you can also tuck elements in their hands. You can see there the little bunny is holding my crayon. So let's move over to my background. I'm going to be using some squeezed lemonade distressing today to add a little bit of colour to this card. And then I want to have a little bit of a design on the back. So I've pulled up one of my older red rubber stamps from Hero Arts. This is the Ledger stamp set. And I've stuck my background to the inside of my MISTI. I've taken out the foam layer because this red rubber stamp actually has a layer of foam in it. And I've stamped very lightly that ledger onto my yellow background. And now I'll add a bit of colour to this bottom section here. I wanted a blue-grey tone to this bottom section, so I used some Tumbled glass distress ink and then came in with some Simon Says Stamp Fog ink, and that's just to build up a little bit of subtle colour. Now for my message. I'm using the Hello stamp. This is from Lawn Fawn Yay Kites, and I'm stamping that in Simon Says Stamp Slate ink, which is a darker grey, and then stamping over the top with my Versamark ink, my embossing ink, so that I can emboss that with some clear embossing powder. Right underneath I'm going to add the word baby, and that's from the Winter Alpaca stamp set, also from Lawn Fawn. So let's add that below. And I decided at this point that this bottom section of my card looked a bit dull, so I wanted to add a bit more colour so it was a bit more vibrant. So I added some Mermaid Lagoon, and then with a little bit of Perfect Pearls powder mixed in some water, I spritzed my project so that it has a nice shimmer. So let's get this card assembled. I've got a standard note card here that I've inked the edges with some Tumbled glass distress ink just to give a bit of a blue tone. And then I'll stick my frame right on top here, center it. And then I can add my panel in the inside with some sticky tip. So let's slot this in. And then I'll very carefully line up this bottom section. And I've actually cut out a second frame to go right on top of that first one. So I'll use my glue pen to add a little line of glue all the way around and put that frame in place. And you can see I've cut this out of some grey cardstock, and that's a grey that matches the slate colour in my message. So to assemble the card, I know that I want my pencil over here. I'm going to put my little mousey here. I can't tell if it's a mouse or a guinea pig. It's cute no matter what it is. And then I'll have my books and another pencil behind my bunny. And it was at this point I wanted to figure out exactly what colour I should add for the crayon. And I decided to go for a red colour, but not a very, very vibrant red, just a more of a subtle red, just to bring a bit more of a pop to this card. So I'm going to go back to this and my paints now to colour this in. And once again, I'm using my same watercolour set for this. And I'm making the wrapper of my crayon a little bit darker than the crayon itself. So once that's dry, let's stick that right underneath my bunny using a glue dot. And to embellish the background, I'm adding a couple of little hearts, and that's once again from the Winter Alpaca stamp set from Lawn Fawn. And I'll add some sequins. The blue sequins is from a sequin mix from Lucy's Cards, and the little diamonds are from Honeybee Stamps. Here's a closer look at the card in the true colours, so you can see what it looks like. I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Please do take a look at some of my other videos that I have here on YouTube, and leave a like and a comment if you've enjoyed the video, and feel free to subscribe for more. Have a great day, you guys. Bye!